So on the 4th of January, Sony introduced the world to the PlayStation VR2, their new VR headset for PlayStation 5. Me and Sent are going to go through the technical aspects of the VR headset and what we think VR gaming will be like for the next generation of consoles.
My technical knowledge with this stuff is so minimal. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I've done VR here and there, and it's a fun piece of technology. I'm really, really excited. Because what I've seen so far, I'm really excited just to see what Sony do with the PSVR2. They've got some good specs there. I don't know if you want to go through them.
So the VR2 is going to offer 4K HDR with 110 degree FOV, and it has an OLED display. So basically, this means it's going to look very pretty, Sense, okay? Pretty.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Again, OLEDs and all that, I don't really care too much, but I know that's on par with the other. Is it Oculus Rift 2?
Yeah, exactly.
They've got that'll put it on par, if not better, I think, with the graphics.
I think now this is the state of the art tech. So it's good that Sony is aiming for this and using 110 FOV. It's just going to be more immersive for the player.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Do you know what? It's really cool to see Sony not giving up on PSVR.
Yeah,
I do think that they really know the potential this has. I know they've spent quite a bit of time on some new tracking features as well, the old eye tracking and controllers. The Sense controllers look like something from the future.
Yeah, they do look sick. The design is it's very nice design.
An orb thing. Why? Is there any benefit for it looking like that? I don't understand. So I know they've dumped the old PlayStation Move looking controllers.
Yeah.
They dumped that and they have gone for this orb-like design. Is there actually any benefit for having it like that plastic orb around it? Or just because it looks cool?
So to be honest, I think it's to help with the haptic feedback, because obviously the PS5 controllers, they support haptic feedback as well. And Hideaki stated that the headset will have this new feature that will amplify sensations in-game look. All this immersive stuff.
I can see that. The PS5 controller is by far one of the most impressive things to come out of this new gen.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're going to be bringing that to VR, I can imagine you're going to put on the PSVR2 headset and just disappear with it, especially with those controllers. They're really up in their game. I think Nintendo have always been pretty decent with like this additional hardware, but Sony are really up in their game in this field.
Yes, they are. Like the examples that he gave was actually quite interesting. He said that the gamer should feel the character's elevated pulse during tense moments, and then the rush the rush of objects passing close to the character's head, and the thrush of a vehicle at the character's speeds forward. Like that just sounds crazy.
It sounds insane, but you know what? Every time I hear all that stuff now, it just makes me feel like the horror games are going to become so terrifying.
Oh yeah, mate. I'm not touching a horror game. I don't touch horror games now. There's no way I'm doing it in VR. Especially
with all those features, like the pulse and stuff like that. That sounds absolutely terrifying.
No, mate, there's going to be so many broken TVs.
So awesome.
Yeah, there's going to be so many broken TVs.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely awesome. I saw this other theme with all around PSVR2, because it looks like Sony are planning to eventually just build an ecosystem for it on PlayStation. So do you remember back in the day on PS3, PlayStation Home?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so recently, this could just be nothing, but a lot of trademarks have been submitted by Sony for PlayStation Home, and there is a lot of rumours that they could be bringing it back as a VR open space, because at the moment there is no official chat room spaces at the moment. I know there's a bar game that you can download, but from Sony's point of view, there isn't actually anything there. It would be pretty interesting to see if that's going to be where they might be taking VR as well, to that social aspect, which they still haven't really focused on too much so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the console to do it on. I think all the other PlayStations, they really didn't have that tech to kind of give a full-blown VR experience properly.
Yeah.
But the PS5 is a very powerful hardware to use.
Yeah. That's what I mean,
and there are already some game studios working on some VR games. So we've got Horizon Call of the Mountain by Gorilla, and we've got Fire Sprite that worked on Playroom VR on PlayStation 4. So they were co-developers. So I'm glad that they've already got first-party games in the works, because I feel like PlayStation already has good single-player games. Like, they're known for their single-player games. So if they crush the VR experiences with those first parties as well, I think it'll be really good for VR in general.
It's funny you mentioned the games and being developed and all that, because there are also rumours going towards that the PSVR titles won't just be VR exclusive experiences. Apparently they might be pushing to go a bit more hybrid, so that you can play it with or without the headset, PSVR2 headset.
Oh.
So I think from a development point of view, that could be really beneficial, because obviously, imagine all these. I know a lot of these games bang and roll by Sony, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, I think that would also help out with costs and all like that. People like, I haven't got the PSVR headset, so I've been limited. I can't buy any of these games. Obviously, I can't really imagine them being too much better. You know, if you haven't got the headset, what's the point? But it's a good way to just get people to, buy these sort of titles here and then play them, even if it's on a traditional TV screen or something like that. But it's an interesting way that they might be shifting away from all the titles just being VR exclusive.
Yeah.
They're going to be a bit more hybrid about you don't even need a headset. So it's an interesting approach, I think, from Sony.
Yeah, definitely. I just think with all the hardware choices with the VR2 and with PlayStation 5, it just gives more room for developers to experiment with VR properly now. I feel like, especially with consoles, like they can with PC. And PC, I mean, we've had Half-Life 2, Beat Saber, we've had games like that that's been a true success for VR. But for consoles alone, I feel like this is the proper year where PlayStation can maybe make a massive rift, especially if Xbox doesn't really do a lot with VR.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like Sony's position to be that company that can really bring VR into like everyone's homes, because they've just got that brand recognition. They've got an ecosystem of PlayStation, doing the numbers, even though no one still seems to get a bloody console. They're still doing the absolute numbers there, and I feel like, obviously, you've got Oculus and whatnot, you've got Hive and stuff like that from Facebook, but I feel like for the gaming experience, Sony is definitely the best positioned company to really take VR gaming into like a level that hasn't seen before, and that's why I'm really hyped that they haven't abandoned VR. I think Sony know just how big of a deal VR can be when it's finally. It's still in its infancy, It's essentially like the PS1, It's like the PlayStation 1 at the moment. Maybe this could be their PS2 for VR. Who knows? But I do think that they see the absolute value of continuing this development. I trust Sony to eventually deliver.
Oh, 100%. Even the examples that Hideaki gave us, like, there's no other software or hardware that will give us that immersive experience. But I feel like the true thing about VR is making those short experiences. I feel like if you try to long out the experience, like, people get motion sickness. That's still a big problem about it. And like, obviously the graphics aren't going to be up to par to like modern tech now, so I feel like those small compact experiences are the best for VR.
I think you're right. Afro, I think you're right here. I'm very intrigued to see what it's like for the first time with the PSVR2. They haven't actually shown the headset yet. It's meant to be rumoured to be coming out at the end of the year, but apparently because of supply issues and COVID and whatnot, that it might get pushed to early 2023 instead. Feels so weird saying early 2023 is next year now. I
know.
But it'll be very interesting to see how they launch this device. I think if they launch this properly, it'll probably be at their own event later in the year. Or was it State of Play?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if it had its own event or if it's there, but who knows? I'm really excited to see. And we're definitely making you play a horror game in it.
I am not doing that. No. I refuse.
You can't, mate. You can't. Give us the people what they want, Afro. Give the people what they want.
It's not a game. It's a